They say age brings wisdom, but the truth is, after 60, wisdom isn't just about what you know. It's also about what you choose to keep to yourself. Hi, I'm so glad you're here today, because this message might just change how you walk into the next chapter of your life. You see, once we cross that beautiful milestone of 60, our lives begin to shift in quiet, powerful ways. We start to see what truly matters and who truly understands us. And while love, honesty, and openness are the pillars of any family, there are moments, especially now, where silence becomes the strongest voice of wisdom. In today's video, we're talking about the top 5 things you should keep a secret from your family after 60, not out of fear, not out of mistrust, but out of self-preservation, peace, and personal power. Because sometimes, peace lives in privacy. Let's walk through each one with real examples, soft but strong advice, and the kind of understanding that only life experience can bring. And remember, this isn't about hiding. It's about choosing your peace over pleasing others. So let's begin. 1. Your financial details. Not everything needs to be shared. Here's the truth. Money is one of the biggest triggers in families, no matter how close or loving they seem. After 60, many of us have retirement savings, pensions, a home paid off, or some quiet investments we've nurtured over the years. And while we love our children, our siblings, or even our grandchildren, sharing the full picture of your finances can invite unnecessary pressure, entitlement, or even manipulation. Take Martha, a 67-year-old woman from Ohio, who told her daughter about a modest inheritance she received. Within weeks, there were requests for loans, guilt trips about child care, and subtle assumptions that mom can afford it. Martha learned the hard way. Silence can be a form of self-care. Keep your exact financial numbers private. It's not secrecy, it's security. Discuss plans with a trusted financial advisor and make sure your will or estate is protected. But outside of that, let your finances stay between you and God. You've earned it. 2. Your health fears. Share when you're ready, not when you're scared. As we age, the body changes. Some of those changes are small, aches here, vision changes there. Some are big. Maybe it's a diagnosis you didn't expect. Maybe it's just a strange feeling you can't name yet. But listen carefully. Don't rush to tell everyone in your family the moment something feels off. Give yourself time to process. Take Robert, a 72-year-old man from Florida. When he noticed a tremor in his hand, he immediately told his kids. The next thing he knew, they were researching Parkinson's, rearranging his home, and calling daily with worried voices. What Robert needed was peace and a quiet plan, not panic. Yes, involve your family when you're ready, but your health journey belongs to you. Speak to your doctor, gather your strength, and when the time is right, invite your loved ones in, not to save you, but to support you. This is your body, your timing, your path. 3. Your relationship history. Some chapters don't need to be reopened. We all have a past. After 60, it stretches out like a long winding road filled with love, heartbreak, triumphs, and regrets. You might have gone through a painful divorce, a lost love, or even made choices that still weigh on your heart. And sometimes, in our older years, there's a temptation to share those stories with family in hopes of finding understanding. But be careful. Not every story needs to be retold. Eleanor, age 69, opened up to her granddaughter about a relationship she had before marriage, one that ended badly and left scars. What started as a bonding moment turned into confusion, judgment, and uncomfortable questions from the rest of the family. Eleanor realized that some memories are sacred. Some lessons are yours alone. If sharing your past won't bring healing or clarity, keep it close. Let your wisdom speak louder than your wounds. 4. Your future plans, especially the ones that might surprise them. You might want to move to a smaller town, start a new hobby, join a spiritual group, sell the house, or even begin dating again. After 60, your future belongs to you and no one else. But here's the truth. Family, even the most loving ones, can sometimes resist change. They can project their fears onto your freedom. That's why it's okay to keep your plans to yourself until they're solid. Tom, 66, wanted to move from New York to Arizona for a quieter life and warmer climate. When he told his adult children, they tried to talk him out of it, saying things like, "We need you close," or "What if something happens?" It delayed his decision by a full year. In the end, he moved anyway, and called it the best choice he'd made in decades. So if you're planning a move, a project, or a bold new step, keep it sacred while it's still forming. Let it grow without interference, and once you're ready, let them know, not for permission, but for support. 5. Your private joys, they don't need to understand to respect it. This one is simple, but powerful. After 60, your joy might look different from your family's expectations. Maybe it's waking up at 5 a.m. for quiet prayer, or knitting scarves for strangers. Maybe it's dancing to old rock and roll in your living room, or reading romance novels no one else gets. And here's what matters. You don't need to explain your joy. You don't need to justify your hobbies, your rituals, or your quiet little sources of peace. Linda, 70, found immense happiness gardening by moonlight. When she told her family, they laughed and teased her for being eccentric. It hurt. So she stopped sharing and just kept doing it. Her garden grew more beautiful each year, and so did her heart. Joy doesn't need approval. It just needs space. So protect your happiness. Share it only when it's safe, and let the rest remain a beautiful mystery. Now that we've walked through those 5 powerful truths, let's take a deep breath together. Because this isn't just about secrets, it's about soul space. After 60, life starts to whisper instead of shout. And in those quiet whispers, you begin to hear the voice of your true self. You begin to realize that not everything sacred needs to be shared. Not every dream needs permission. Not every scar needs an audience. This stage of life, this golden, wise, often underestimated season, is not about explaining yourself. It's about reclaiming yourself. And that starts with owning your right to peace, privacy, and quiet power. Maybe you've spent decades pouring into everyone else. Children, partners, parents, careers, communities. And now, for the first time in a long time, you have a chance to pour into yourself. But here's the catch. The people who are used to your giving may not understand your keeping. They may question why you're pulling back, why you're not talking about everything, why you're drawing boundaries where there were once open doors. And that's okay. You don't owe anyone an explanation for evolving. You don't have to shrink to stay connected. You don't have to overshare to feel seen. In fact, some of the most powerful peace you'll find at this age comes when you realize you don't need everyone to agree with you. You just need to agree with yourself. You just need to feel right in your own skin, even if others don't understand the new rhythms you're walking in. If you're like many people after 60, you're learning to breathe again, to slow down, to take long walks without looking at the clock, to enjoy meals not as fuel, but as fellowship with yourself, to find joy in simple things like birdsong or the smell of rain on warm pavement. That is sacred. That is yours. And sometimes, the more you explain it, the more it loses its magic. So hold it gently, keep it close, and only share it with those who've earned the right to truly see you. You might be wondering, how do I balance this with staying close to my family? How do I honor my children, my siblings, my loved ones, while still honoring myself? The answer isn't either or, it's both and. You can love deeply and still hold boundaries. You can be present and still protect your plans. You can care for others without emptying your soul. In fact, healthy boundaries are often the deepest expression of love, because they allow you to give from a full cup, not a fractured one. They keep you from building quiet resentments. They help you stay connected without losing yourself. And that's the goal in this next chapter. Not just to survive, but to thrive. This is the season for sacred decisions, for learning what to say yes to, and what to keep just between you and your heart. And don't feel guilty for that. Don't let anyone tell you that privacy is selfish. It's not. Privacy is wisdom. It's maturity. It's protection. It's healing. And if someone in your life truly loves you, they'll learn to honor that, even if they don't fully understand it yet. Think of your life like a garden. Not every plant needs to be in the sun. Some things grow best in the shade. Some blooms are fragile and take time. Some roots run deep and don't need to be disturbed. The same is true for your thoughts, your choices, your quiet joys. Water them in silence. Let them grow in grace. And if you're hearing this message today, maybe it's not by accident. Maybe you've been giving too much of yourself lately. Maybe you felt drained by the expectations of others. Maybe you've been struggling to find that space where your soul can just be. If that's you, consider this your gentle permission. It's okay to keep some things to yourself. Not everything needs to be a family discussion. Not every decision needs a group vote. Not every fear needs to be voiced the moment it appears. You are still allowed to evolve. You are still allowed to dream. You are still allowed to protect your peace. And most of all, you are still allowed to choose you. So the next time someone asks what you're up to and you smile and say, "Just taking it one day at a time," let that be enough. You don't have to explain the whole mountain you're climbing. You don't have to detail every path you're choosing. You are not here to perform, you are here to live. Boldly, quietly, beautifully. And remember, secrets are not always signs of shame. Sometimes they are signs of strength. They are the little rooms of the soul where only God and wisdom are allowed. They are the sacred parts of your story that you're still writing. And you deserve to write them in peace. At the 60+ chapter, we believe in creating a life you love, mainly after 60+ age where not much people and supports are with you. Every story we share is meant to bring hope, knowledge, and tools that help you live better, not just longer. We are here for you, and we'll keep bringing you real stories, practical tips, and trusted advice every day. Don't keep this to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to listen. Or if it simply gave you hope, please take a moment right now to click subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it means everything to us. It helps us reach more people like you, and it keeps the 60+ chapter channel going strong. Let's grow this beautiful community together.